my hands firmly around my camera and my finger poised on the trigger as I patiently await to capture passing moments. Tilting my head over to the chair in front of me, I peer through the gap between cushion and the window, uncertain of what I'm going to capture, or even if I'll be able to find anything of use. I adjust, trying to find a better spot to photograph that is not too close to the window. Finding a space between the middle of the two seats, I can now face the window from a better distance. Unexpectedly, I could also get a better view of the man sitting at the table opposite me in the following row of seats. I must be in his direct line of sight, as when he faces what I assume to be his partner, he must also be seeing my profile. The thought of this makes me very aware of my own presence. I shift slightly forward so that I am out of the way. Sitting in the train allows you to see many people, and none at the same time. Their faces, no matter how much I concentrate on remembering them, do not come back. Their image does not come back to me as easy as the images that follow through the journey. The direct markers of their presence are easier to remember, and I wonder whether this is a more accurate way to remember those I have never met. I concentrate on the new people who are leaving the carriage, trying to remember their features, skin color, and clothing. Not much stays as the train speeds up. As I examine these photos, I get lost in the repetition. The picture becomes a unity and I accept it as a whole, without digesting the intricacies of each detail. Whether I'm looking at a man-made structure or nature, the picture before me becomes a cloud that separates me from the emptiness that follows it. My attention lays in the arrangement before me. I look at each individual branch and forget about it a second later. I begin taking these photographs to get it over and done with, whilst also trying to attribute some meaning to them, attempting to give meaning to other things outside of myself, other than what has real value in my life. I let myself capture these images, whether they have a later use or not. Either way, they are mine for me to use. I have begun treating others the same way. At times, I fall back into realizing that those people are there, and I reach out. Other times I distract myself, begin to ignore, and get lost in a lack of feeling. The surrounding branches cover up my vision, and I prefer it this way. There's more to say about it. Have they been put there on purpose? I could only face one side of the train. Will I recognize where I was when the train faces the opposite direction? Leaving the station, I begin walking towards the exit without realizing that it had started raining. I walked a few minutes with my camera ready, but water kept gathering on top of it, forcing me to constantly try and wipe the camera with my scarf. I've decided to find a cafe whilst the rain stops. On the way there, I imagined myself taking some photographs of those around me, but I hesitated and slipped my camera back into its cover. People are hard to photograph. I prefer to take a quick photo and exit, and in this setting, I won't be able to do that. Lately, I have become more reluctant to take a chance when it comes to dealing with others. What used to seem easy and come naturally has now become challenging. I must talk myself into giving others a chance. The times when those things were easy are long gone. I find myself meditating on this almost every day, and with every failure, I feel further from myself. The awkward moments where the connection gets lost have become even more noticeable, my body too sensitive to them, and my mind too reluctant to let go. I'm surprised to see that whether I'm sitting on the train or walking on the streets, the images are not much different than one another. I encounter entrances that lead nowhere and objects that only speak of their presence. These arches marked on the wall, of all kinds of widths and sizes, tell me of paths and places that are no longer accessible. Their appearance is contradicting. They have been covered up but not hidden from the public eye. Within them, I find frames of brick and concrete, inviting me to draw near, close enough to wonder what's on the other side. Layer after layer tell me that this isn't the first time that a path has been erased. Whether I can approach these spaces or not, I wonder why they are there. These items no longer serve a purpose and have been abandoned by their owners. On the wall, I see what could have been spoken. Now the thing that remains is the possibility of saying anything at all, to address those passing by, without asking for permission, like a whisper or a shout. The message has been lost. What does someone think of a message worth saying but not maintaining? A message that signifies simultaneously their presence and absence. I find many broken objects along the way back to the station, and I assume whoever the owner is saw it and decided to leave a mark of what had happened to him, a warning sign for those who want to do as he had done. This sign was given through objects rather than words. Through my journey, I had found other signs in the making.